Hello, everyone, and welcome to KJ Around the World. It is a bit nippy, so I am bundled up. I know that the temperature has been dropping in certain parts of the country if you're in the US. And so I just try to stay a little bit warm, and here I am, snugged up, um, and bringing you a nice little video today. So, my talk for today, I just wanted to get into escaping the classroom. So, for many teachers, being able to travel is kind of like an escape. And I know many professionals who feel if they're able to travel during breaks, it just gives them a little peace of mind. It's a little bit of a break from the day to day, the mundane, and just being able to escape, right? So, how do we escape the classroom? And I just wanted to give you just a little bit of a taste of my journey as a teacher, traveling and doing things that I love to do. And perhaps this can be a little bit of an inspiration to you as well if you decide that you want to be that teacher who escapes the travel, right? So, why I love travel, who I am, right? I have been teaching for over 15 years. I love what I do. I've been teaching in preschool, higher ed. I've done coaching, I've done consultant work. I have been in the field in different capacities. I love what I do as an educator. I think it's awesome, rewarding work, but sometimes you can just get so burnt out and you need that bit of a break. And so, that's where the travel comes in for me. I've been traveling since 2016. When I made my first trip to Helsinki, it was like an amazing experience that made me just want to do it over and over and over again. Hence the reason why I've been there about 3 times now. And so being able to learn new things and meet new people is a very large part of my journey as an educator. And I think it's important in that capacity to bring the things that I learn back to my classroom as well. So when I go out on my amazing travel adventures, I'm not just going out and, taking and taking and taking. I'm also trying to connect with the people that I meet there, right? In whatever country that I go to, I try to meet people and connect with other travelers as well, especially travelers who are fellow educators. That's usually the most fun part. And just bringing those awesome things back to the classroom with me. So, as far as like teaching in early childhood, there's so many things that we can learn from different countries like Finland, like Sweden, that we could just bring back into our classrooms. And even, classrooms in countries in Asia or perhaps the continent of Africa. Like there's so many things that we can bring back with us that could be enriching to our own students in our classrooms. So that's a bit of who I am and why I love traveling. And I just wanted to kind of jump into where I've been. And if you've been subscribed to this channel and you've been watching the videos, you see that I've given a mix of some of the places I've been in the past, when my channel wasn't so active, and then some of the places I've been recently. So if you're not a subscriber, I think this is the time to subscribe right now. Make sure you are also clicking the notification, liking the video, because this really tells the YouTube algorithm that you like it and you want to see more of it. And then the more the videos come up, guess what? You'll be the first to watch. So be in the know by subscribing to the channel, tapping the notifications, and liking the video. Perhaps even leave a comment so that you can share how you feel about the content. You can also share maybe some places that you've been or questions that you might have about travel, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Now, jumping into where I've been to Iceland, Spain, and England as far as solo slash trips with like my brother or, a friend or my partner. And I enjoy going to these places. Iceland was my first solo trip. It was one of the most rewarding experiences I've had in my life. I learned so much. I got to experience so much. The temperature change, the food, the environment, like it was something new. It was a new place, new atmosphere, just new everything and a new experience. And like it stuck with me all this time. That was back in like 2017. It stuck with me so long. I always share my experience from Iceland with people because I think that there's so much that can be learned from those first time travel experiences. And Iceland was definitely a rewarding one for me. And so, if you're looking for places to go for your first time as a solo traveler, I highly recommend Iceland or Finland because these are A, one of the safest places I've been to, and B, it's a great way to kind of take a quick trip without having to worry about so many logistics, like transportation's accessible. It's easy to get around, certain areas. If you book in advance, things can work out for you pretty well. So I highly recommend Iceland or Finland for first timers. Spain and England were amazing experiences, from the food to just being able to connect with different people. It's these are major countries that people know the history of and everything else, but it's another thing to see pictures or watch movies, and it's a whole nother ball game to actually be in the country and experience the culture, experience the people, and just see how things work there. So wonderful experience. Just be mindful if you're visiting places like England or Spain, like there are regional areas, right? Like it's not, these countries aren't the type of countries where it's like a one size fits all. There are different regions where accents will be different, languages might be different. And so you just want to be able to absorb all of that and bring it back with you, right? Now, Italy and Canada, these are family staples. So I've gone to Italy with family, gone to Canada with family. I love, love, love visiting Canada with my kids. Like they love Canada. Like I don't know what it is. Like they love Canada. I don't know if it's the cold, the things that they do. Like it's become a thing, right? And so Canada is an awesome place to visit, even for first timers. As an educator, like there's so much wealth of knowledge that can be gained from going to Canada. And so I highly recommend it for teachers. I think it's a great way to connect some of what we're doing here in the US with what they're doing in Canada, right? Because keep in mind, there are different regions in Canada. Canada has a rich history and a rich culture, right? From the French to the indigenous peoples, right, to the English. And so we want to make sure that, if we are bringing some gems back with us, that we're taking all the bits and pieces that Canada has to offer because it has a rich, diverse history. Same with Italy. Italy was just, I don't even know where to begin with Italy. Like the food was just top tier, top tier. Like I've never had such good food. Like honestly, and like I love to eat. Like anyone that knows me knows, like I love to eat. I love good food. I love food that is quality. Like I'm not for the cheap stuff, and I can taste the cheap stuff like a mile away, right? I can smell it from a mile away. Like I know when it's cheap. And the food in Florence was just high quality. Like the food that's like there for the tourists, but you also know the food that like the locals are eating, and they're hitting up these restaurants, on the weekends or when they're going out with family perhaps. And I just find the food to be so, so delicious. I highly recommend Italy as a place, especially for educators to go visit and escape the classroom. Now, thinking about different aspects of travel, whether it's travel for fun or travel for work, like when it comes to travel for fun, if you see that you're burnt out and you need a break, right? I highly recommend you taking a trip, whether it's during winter break, a trip during Thanksgiving break, whatever it may be, right? Take that break. Take that break. Unfortunately, compared to other countries outside of the US, we don't get as many breaks. Like I know teachers in Europe right now that are currently on break. And what are we doing? We're still working. So, although many countries outside the US have more breaks, take advantage of the breaks that you do have, and whether it's spring break, summer, winter break, whatever it is, like take a trip somewhere to just do something fun for you. Do something that makes you feel good, don't think about school, don't think about grades, don't think about anything that's going on at school. Just think about how you can enrich yourself and make yourself feel good in that moment while you're there. Okay. Now, thinking about travel for work, this is travel with your classroom in mind. And there are so many opportunities out there for this. I mean, I've gone on trips with EF, I've gone on trips with book bag tours, right? So education tours are really essential for teachers. It's good for professional development. Your district might be able to pay for it. Just make sure you check your union contract for that. But when it comes to travel for work, where you do have your classroom in mind and it's a bit of fun, it's a getaway, but it's also like professional development. So you're meeting other teachers, you're connecting with other teachers, you're collaborating with other teachers. Like, this is a great way for you to do things that are not only fun, but it also brings something back to your classroom environment. So you're getting a bit of both. You're getting that break, but you're also getting that chance to bring something back to your classroom space. Now, just to wrap it up a little bit, before we go, I do want to bring up something that I'm sure if you're subscribed, I've already mentioned before. But if you're new, please be mindful that I do have a book out. You can get information for the book in the description. It is called Loves Teaching, Will Travel, Inspiration to Teach from Anywhere. If you are looking for different opportunities for teaching, perhaps you're like, you know what, I don't know if I want to teach in the US anymore, or I don't know if I want to teach in a classroom anymore. Take a look at my book. It has so many amazing gems for educators, whether you're a para, a full time teacher, you work in higher ed, whatever it may be. This book has everything that you need to just get you inspired, get you motivated, but it also has all those resources and all those details to tell you where to apply, when to apply, how to enhance your resume, networking, the best countries with the best salary, right? So this book is like, it's my little baby. I worked really hard putting it together. It's self-published, and I really think it would be a great tool for you if you think that teaching abroad or teaching online is the journey that you want to take. This is something that will work best for you. Now, thinking about how travel could benefit educators, right? It's important, whether you're traveling for fun or traveling for work, for you to look at what teaching looks like in different environments. This is not only going to bring out your love of teaching. Having a little break will not only bring out your love of teaching because you feel rested, you feel like you have recouped from being, prodded and poked all through the school year, right? Taking that break will help to bring back that passion that you have. It'll help you to feel refreshed. It will bring about talents that you probably never even knew you had, right? Because you're able to think clearly, you're able to remove all the noise and find different creative ways to show up for your students, right? Whether it's showing up for your students online or showing up for your students in person, having that break, travel could really help bring out some amazing characteristics in you that you never even thought that you had, or they were hidden because you were, always on go, right? Always on autopilot. So don't take for granted the breaks that you do have. Try your best to find ways to incorporate travel into your daily experiences, right? Whether it's in your classroom or outside of your classroom, because honestly, that escape could make such a difference to your life. You might turn around and say, you know what, instead of feeling burnt out, I mean, you're going to feel burnt out, but instead of feeling that, all is lost or there's nowhere for me to go in the field, perhaps those travel experiences can help to bring back that love that you once had when you first started out. And perhaps it'll help to kind of move things along for you in your career. You don't know what could come from it. I know for me, it's opened so many doors. It has just shone a bright light into my experience in my life. And personally, professionally, all around has made things so much better for me. And I highly recommend that others try to, take that jump or take that leap into starting a travel journey because it does help to enrich you personally and professionally. And just you overall as an individual, because outside of our classrooms, we are individuals. And it's important for us, for ourselves to remember that. It's not even that we have to prove it to other people that we are individuals. It's for us to make sure that we're reminding ourselves you are a person, you are an individual, and you are someone outside of your classroom. And you can have fun, you can do awesome things, you can do enriching things. You just have to go out and make it happen for yourself. So, that is it for our video today. I hope that you've learned something. If you have a comment or a question, leave them down below. I am, checking in several times a week and I'll be happy to answer anything or comment or anything and just kind of build a dialogue and connection with you all out there in YouTube land because I do love making these videos. I do love bringing this content to you and I look forward to moving the channel forward to the future. I'll see you next time. Bye.